Coronation Street sets up major fallout as Ben discovers Maggie's hidden truth. What does he finally learn? Coronation Street is preparing for a dramatic confrontation between Ben Driscoll and Maggie Driscoll after a major family secret comes to light. In scenes shown on Friday, 3rd of April, Maggie accidentally hinted that Ben may not know the full story about who his real father is. The ITV soap later released a preview clip for Sunday's 5th of April episode, showing Ben confronting his mother over what she said. Following a tense and emotional exchange, Maggie eventually confesses that her late husband Alan was not actually Ben's biological father. The revelation comes as a huge shock to Ben, especially given the possibility that he may already have another relative living in Weatherfield without realizing it. Actor Aaron McCusker, who plays Ben, has revealed that the truth will have a major emotional impact on the Rover's return landlord. He's completely stunned and also absolutely furious, the actor explained. What makes it even worse is that he can't go back and speak to the man he always believed was his dad. That makes the whole thing even harder for him to process because he was incredibly close to Alan. He also learns that Alan actually knew he wasn't Ben's father and still chose to stand by Maggie, which only makes Ben respect him even more. He ends up having a huge row with Maggie before heading straight to the bar and drowning his emotions in whiskey. McCusker also added, his mom has lied to him yet again, and this comes not long after she caused chaos at Christmas with the whole baby situation. Ben is basically left wondering when the lies are finally going to stop. Unsurprisingly, Ben begins to question what else Maggie may have kept from him, and the latest revelation creates serious distance between them, despite the fact that he is, sadly, no stranger to her dishonesty. However, this particular lie cuts far deeper than the others. Ben has already forgiven his mom for a lot, McCusker said. He does understand that she was a single mother who gave up a lot to raise him and Finley, but this time, things may go differently. I think it's going to take him a while to move past this, although time can heal things. Hopefully in the end, they'll be okay. But right now, he's deeply hurt that she's kept this from him for so many years, and I'm sure he won't be letting her forget it anytime soon. The truth about Ben's parentage emerges during a heated disagreement between him and Maggie over the situation involving his son Will, who has recently been revealed as the victim of grooming by his athletics coach, Megan Walsh. Maggie believes Ben has not done enough to properly support Will through the ordeal, and the accusation leads Ben to lash out with a cruel comment aimed at his own mother. Although Ben initially tries to deny any responsibility, McCusker believes the character is carrying a great deal of guilt over what happened with Will. He's definitely gone through a phase of blaming himself, the actor explained. Maybe he was too caught up in settling into life in Weatherfield, or too distracted by being stuck in the middle of all the tension between Maggie and Eva, or even focused on his other two children. It all just passed him by. He's disappointed in himself, and now he's trying his best to make things right. But when you're dealing with a teenage son, it's never easy, and he's going to have to work really hard to rebuild that relationship. While Ben's connection with Maggie is set to face serious challenges in the weeks ahead, his relationship with partner Eva Price is expected to grow even stronger as she continues to stand by him through everything he is facing. Coronation Street shows heartbreaking scenes for frightened Sam Blakeman in early ITVX episode. The emotional turmoil continues for Sam Blakeman in Coronation Street after enduring months of threats, manipulation, and blackmail from sinister PE teacher Megan Walsh. Megan had been carrying on a secret relationship with Sam's classmate Will Driscoll, and she even became pregnant with his child. Their hidden meetings remained a secret for a long time, with Sam being the only person close to uncovering the truth. At one stage, he secretly placed a camera inside Megan's flat in an attempt to gather proof, but she soon found it and staged a fake encounter with Will to mislead him. She later warned Sam that if he continued making accusations, she would go to the police and accuse him of voyeurism. Overwhelmed by stress and anxiety, Sam eventually became reliant on ADHD medication to help calm his nerves around Megan and Will. This was later exposed when he collapsed in the street, and his former stepmother, Leanne Battersby, quickly realized that he was not simply using the medication to cope with exam pressure. Now that the Driscoll family are aware of what Will has been through, they were devastated to discover that there was not enough evidence for the police to take meaningful action. Any chance of proving the truth was made even harder when CCTV footage showing Will meeting Megan at the Chariot Square Hotel had been deleted just hours before. Despite everything, Sam has remained convinced that something deeply wrong was going on, even though Will continues to insist that his connection with Megan was completely innocent and purely friendly. Earlier this week, Eva Price urged Will to apologize to Sam for everything he had put him through, hoping the two boys could move on and leave the painful situation behind them. At first, it looked as though they had managed to put their differences aside, but Will later took back his apology and warned Sam that things would turn nasty if he interfered with him and Megan again. As viewers already know, Will is still secretly meeting up with Megan and remains convinced that the two of them will eventually run away and start a life together. Sam, who has now started speaking to a counselor about everything he has been going through, became the target of Will's intimidation once again at the end of yesterday's episode. While innocently walking along the cobbles, Sam suddenly realized Will was chasing after him, and in the panic, he tripped and fell to the ground. Nick Tilsley rushed over to make sure Sam was okay, but by the time Sam could explain what had happened, Will had already disappeared. In today's episode, Sam found himself facing another upsetting encounter with Will, this time with Megan by his side. He rushed home and immediately told Nick, Leanne, and Toya Battersby about seeing the pair together at the precinct, and they quickly passed the information on to Eva. Eva then called Will into the back room of the Rover's Return, where she asked him directly whether Sam had been telling the truth. But determined to continue protecting Megan, Will insisted that he had not even left the pub all morning and claimed the entire thing had been made up. Sam was left devastated at being made to look like he was lying, and in distress he retreated back to Leanne's flat. Sitting alone on the sofa, he broke down in tears, clearly overwhelmed and heartbroken that the truth still wasn't being believed. The big question now is whether his family will finally realize just how seriously all of this is affecting his mental health.